Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Foxy290 here, and welcome back to a brand new F1 2017 career mode video for you guys today here on the channel. Today we are back with part number 18 here of Season 3, and as you can see, Chris comes up to us and he's very concerned in terms of the R&D chart about where we stand, although if we have a look at the previous 5 races, we've won 3 and we've been on the podium for every single one, so in that sense, I'm not too concerned. But in terms of the R&D chart, he is extremely concerned, and I can tell you why, because no one's made an upgrade. So, yeah, as you can see there, no one's made an upgrade, so it's very concerning, obviously. Yeah, unfortunately, the R&D has been very, very poor this season, and you can kind of see where everyone's at. McLaren and Sauber sort of battling with each other. Force India in 4th, in a world of their own, yeah, it's been a very, very topsy-turvy season, but we're coming towards the end, and this is a very decisive time in the season, because the championship can be wrapped up here at this Mexican Grand Prix if things go our way in terms of the results. The gap currently stands at 53 points. Lewis Hamilton has to either outscore me by 3 points to take the championship forwards, or I have to beat Lewis Hamilton by any points at all, and the championship is wrapped up today. So if I finish in front of Hamilton, championship is over. If Hamilton finishes in front of me, it has to make sure that it is more than 3 points to keep the championship going into the Brazilian Grand Prix. So as we can see then, coming towards doing our practice programs, I was actually quite comfortable with the car, which was very unusual, because I thought Mexico would pretty much be a damage limitation track for me, with it being the first sector just being extremely long straights, the middle sector being all about aerial. This was kind of a track where everything sort of wasn't in my favour, but I did a hell of a lot of work with the setup, and it worked quite nicely. I was quite impressed with how the car was handling, so going into this race, I wasn't really that concerned, actually, that we have to qualify in 4th and beat Lewis Hamilton, and yeah, we're moving on into qualifying then, and we're going to be changing now to engine component number 5, my final engine for the season, and engine component 4 will just be used for scraps, really, just for practices, because there is nothing else that I need it for. So, and then we've got a fresh power unit that can go in 3 qualifying sessions and 3 races. Will easily get us to the end of the season. So, as you can see then, moving on into our first lap, this was just a banker lap. This was nothing special, so we qualified 1.1 seconds off the pace. It's always a gamble doing a banker lap like this, because if you can't get your best lap right, if you can't get your next lap right, then you don't have a good lap to try and sort of back yourself onto. So doing a bank lap can be very, very risky. But as you can see, I'm already 9/10 of a second quicker, so it was definitely worth it. And I made a mistake in the first 3 corners, unfortunately. I ran wide in the first part of the corner, and it basically just completely loses you on track for the other bits, and that's where I gained on my time, just under half a second shy of Lewis Hamilton's pole lap. But qualifying in P5 is a very, very decent result, and with Mexico having the longest run to turn 1 on the calendar, it's going to be a slipstream fest towards turn 1, so we'll see if we can try and make any positions up by that area, so I'm hoping that we can do. And as you can see, the resource points are stacking up now. And in terms of the rivalry update, you can see there that Hamilton has unfortunately taken the lead yet again in the rivalry, which was no surprise really because the Mercedes is the superior car of the season. However, we've been stacking up those results. And having a look then at the race goals, it is to finish P4, beat Lewis Hamilton and place 3rd in the championship. Now, again, like I've said before, placing 3rd in the championship, that doesn't really matter as a target because mathematically we're going to stay there anyway. It is all about beating Hamilton and finishing 4th or above, which means that we've got to beat either the Ferraris or the Mercedes cars, which isn't going to be easy, but yet again, if we can try and get that track position, then we should have a good chance of defending, whereas attacking, we just don't quite have the pace yet to really push forward. So it's all about outperforming with this car. And as you can see, a couple of changes to the grid as Sergio Perez and I do believe Carlos Sainz, there you go, have all taken a grid penalty for this weekend, which is fine. They can do what they want. If they want to do it here, they can do it here. So, moving on then into the start of this Grand Prix then. And as you can see, it's going to be a one-stop race, ultra softs and super softs going to the end. And I'm going to drop the fuel load slightly down to a lap over target. So I can get a little bit of rich mixture in there, but not too much, because sometimes I overfuel the car. So, yeah, we'll just have to see how we go. But we're getting ready for the formation lap now. And as you can see, formation lap underway, and hopefully that's the start I'll get in the race where I overtake everybody, and then I'm on the back of Hamilton. Probably not, but, you know, I'm just trying to be optimistic. We're on the grid here now for this race. We've got 5, red lights here for the Mexican Grand Prix, and it is lights out. Let's go here to start the Mexican Grand Prix. It's been a slow and sluggish start, unfortunately, but the secondary phase of the start much better for us. In the slipstream with Sebastian Vettel, Hamilton leads, Bottas second, Raikkonen in third, Vettel fourth, Ricciardo right behind me, but we just about managed to outdrag Ricciardo, and as you can see, Raikkonen going to try and go for a move. He ducks out of it and leaves that gap open, and I'm going to steal the gap that Raikkonen took and up into the lead straight away of the Mexican Grand Prix. Collision with Bottas. There was nothing, I didn't touch anything, so get good game. But as you can see, Hamilton is now down into second place, and that crucial gap that Raikkonen nicked off me, I was going to dive at the inside. He backed back into the slipstream of Bottas, and I simply just stole the gap, went down the inside. No one really turned in enough, and I took the position here as we're onto lap 3 of the Grand Prix now, and we're having a horrible middle sector there, as we do, unfortunately, just, I think, exceed the track limits. I can't really tell because we're going really fast, but unfortunately there is a yellow flag, and for the second race in a row, Daniel Ricciardo is out of the Mexican Grand Prix. He was out in USA, and he's out again here in Mexico. And for the Constructors' Championship, this unreliability phase for Daniel Ricciardo is not helping at all, as I'm the man who's having to try and salvage all the points for Red Bull Racing. But on to lap 4 of the Grand Prix, and once again, after taking the lead, I've gone back to the mental state of just driving my own race. If these guys want to drive their own races, they're going to have to get past me to do it, and on the end of lap 4 to start lap 5, that was the time that they wanted to strike, and here comes Lewis Hamilton now, and with him so close in the slipstream, I'm not even going to fight this one too hard, as Hamilton now opens up the DRS, and eventually he's going to pull out into the slipstream. Now I'm going to give him that tight line in towards turn 1, getting him super wide. Hamilton doesn't come back onto the inside line. Going to give him the room, because I know he's going to drift wide because he takes a tight line, but luckily for myself, we stay in front of Lewis Hamilton. But on the exit of turn 3, we get a very bad run there. Hamilton now with the DRS and the slipstream. Here he comes yet again, Lewis Hamilton. Will he go for a move? No, he actually sticks behind, which is unusual. I would have thought he'd maybe go into the inside line there and have a little dive. That's probably what I would have done. Actually, no, that's what I definitely would have done in that scenario there. Might as well recorrect my statement as we come now through into the middle sector where there is no place to overtake here. Onto the end of lap 5 now. To start lap 6, you can see Hamilton getting very, very close behind now as we fly through on the pit straight. The top 5 all in combat, as we can see here. Hamilton yet again with more DRS at his vacancy, and as you can see now, he's going to go towards the inside line yet again. We're going to have to defend him, but I can't defend him too hard because I've noticed there just had to cover off Bottas as well. Swoop round the outside, take a quicker line, and then try and break late into the turn 2 corner, break the apex for turn 3, and stay in front for the time being. But Hamilton has got a much better run. I've just dipped a wheel on the grass. That's not going to help the exit speed that I've got. Hamilton this time goes to the inside line, but yet again the outside line favouring me a lot. This year I like to defend around the outside, and there's my little choo-choo train that I'm forming right now, and I really don't care, because as long as they don't pass me, then the choo-choo train is going successfully. As you can see, through we go now on lap 6 here, and we're carrying on now towards this tricky middle sector, and we carry it on now. You can see going a little bit wide as the tyres starting to fade away a little bit as well in this Grand Prix, but defending hard, and that's not going to help these tyres at all, and especially with the poor air. As you can see, Hamilton's got a great run in this middle sector. We're going to have to brake very late here. I've actually outbroken myself though into this corner. I've gone wide, back end slide, so close to hitting Lewis Hamilton in towards the stadium section. You're going to defend against him. Hamilton backs out of it. Bottas hits Lewis Hamilton here, and now we pull away as Hamilton and Bottas scrap behind, and as you can see, Hamilton holds it on the inside, but Bottas still there on the outside. But Hamilton swoops round and takes the position. But you can see that I've given myself a tiny little bit of breathing space, and Bottas, who should be helping Hamilton in this championship, not hindering him, is going for it here. He goes through with the slipstream, with his DRS. Hamilton gets swapped out, and Vettel now is going to go down the inside of Hamilton as well, and it's all going wrong for the championship contender here, as Bottas steals the position when surely he should be the one helping Hamilton, not hindering him. And now Vettel is all over him, and the two Ferraris are all over him, and you can see that I'm starting to pull away into the distance. They will close me back, but for now I have a little bit of a buffer. But down the inside goes Vettel, and he's going to use the outside line, switch it, it's the inside line. Hamilton's still there though, on his outside, and again in towards the double right-hander. Hamilton's still there, holding this one. He knows he's got to keep this one. He has to for the championship. Round the outside, in towards the S section. Still, they go side by side, but Hamilton backs out of it and down into 4th place. But on the end of that lap, Hamilton is coming back at Sebastian, and this shot right here shows the power of a Mercedes-powered engine in this race. As you can see, Hamilton absolutely closes up right to the back of Vettel and flies through Seb towards turns 1, 2, and 3. He gets the move done, back up into 3rd place. Now he's got to pass Bottas, who is on the back of me. He's very close to the back, and you can see right there is Valtteri Bottas in DRS range of myself as we now push forwards in this Grand Prix with a great battle there between Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton in this Grand Prix. Amazing stuff there. Yeah, coming on to lap 8 of the Grand Prix now, we're going to be making our first pit stop of the race, and you can see here that we're going to be switching for a set of super soft tyres. So we've done 8 laps on the Ultras, then we got to 10 laps on the Supers. Shouldn't be a problem, and it's going to be myself, Hamilton and Vettel making our one and only pit stops for this race. So hopefully no one holds us up, and as you can see, no one else is coming into the pits. All 5 of us are really just in another dimension to everybody else. I'm pretty sure that I would be left in a separate dimension if all 5 or all 4 of these cars got in front of me, but they aren't. So, you know, we're just going to keep on going as we are. As we're coming out of the pits now, I believe we're going to rejoin just behind Sainz, who is right there, actually. So there's Carlos Sainz. Out we come. And Hamilton also coming out in front of a Sauber. Vettel going side by side there with Pascal Wehrlein, and he has to go side by side with him, but Vettel does eventually hold the position. I actually thought that was Lewis Hamilton that was side by side with Pascal. I was looking behind and then I realised that Hamilton overtook Vettel and I was a little bit silly. We're on to lap 12 of the Grand Prix now, and Valtteri Bottas has made his pit stop, but the overcut didn't work for Valtteri, and yet again track position is now mine. And as you can see here, Bottas with some slipstream, with some DRS, is going to go for the outside line here towards turn 1, noticing that my defensive moves have been to the outside, and he's going to test that and see if I can defend around the inside, and that's quite simple. I'll just force you wide and then just come and claim the track for myself there. So I don't know if he really wanted to try that, but yeah, okay, you do what you want there as we come through now. And Hamilton here going side by side with Bottas, and he actually makes that one stick. So Hamilton was forced into an attack on Bottas after I compromised his lines. Hamilton fought back, and now it is another fight between myself and Lewis Hamilton here on lap 15 of this Mexican Grand Prix, with just a few more laps to go until this championship could potentially be wrapped up, as Lewis Hamilton yet again going for another attack here. Where's he going to go? Inside, outside, goes to the inside, going to give him a very tight line once again. Little tiny scrape there on the side pod as I try and compromise his line, take a wide outside line and then flick it in towards turn 2. I run wide, so I brake nice and late in towards turn 3. Not a problem, try and get on the power as quick as you possibly can. And there is the easy way to defend against the AIs here in Mexico, as long as you know what you're doing. As you can see, I'm dropping the car into lean mixture because I'm trying to save as much fuel as I can, because it turns out the fuel wear was a lot more than I expected, as Hamilton yet again trying to go for a move, but I perfectly placed the car this time to the point where Hamilton just couldn't pick his line quick enough there. So yeah, unfortunately for Hamilton, couldn't get that move done there, as we unfortunately take a horrible run at the exit of turn 3, and that's going to compromise us, and that alerts me to go back into rich mixture. Here comes Hamilton yet again towards the inside line, going to give him a tighter line and then break myself towards the outside line, give him that space because Hamilton will drift wide because of his tight apex, and you can see there that we managed to get on through. And on to the last lap now of this Mexican Grand Prix. The gap is just 0.2 of a second. He is going to come back for another attack, and we've got plenty of rich mixture because I've been saving it in that middle sector where they can't overtake. And here comes Lewis Hamilton now for one more chance as we go towards turn 1. The inside line defended in towards turn 2. Take a nice wide line in towards turn 3. Oh, more back end sliding out as the tyres begin to scream now in this Grand Prix. But we've pretty much held off an attack off Lewis Hamilton all race long. We've just got to defend now for the rest of this lap, and as you can see, in towards the final complex here in the stadium, around the final corner we go, and now there it is, guys, the checkered flag, rich mixture enabled, championship won with Red Bull Racing. We have done it. We have set ourselves a target to win the World Championship with Red Bull Racing. It was a tough fight with Mercedes-Benz this year, with the pendulum swinging left, right and forward. But as you can see, we're doing donuts in the stadium. We have won it, and then compared to Mercedes-Benz, Mercedes and Red Bull know how to do donuts. Ferrari don't know, because I've already won it with Ferrari, and they never did a donut because it didn't work. But there it is, guys. We have won the Formula 1 World Drivers' Championship. The pendulum swung a lot this season. It was a tough fight with Lewis Hamilton. I thought he was going to pit me this season. It was a really, really hard year, especially with all the upgrades not working and really being on the back foot all season long. But we managed to pull through. We managed to grab the results, and we managed to get a lot of luck in there as well, which is everything you need in Formula 1 to win a championship. And you can see Perez finishing probably in a lonely 6th place, to be honest. But decent result nonetheless. Best of the rest, really. And as you can see, there we are on the top step of the podium. Maximum points with Adrian Newey alongside. And we need that because, of course, Daniel Ricciardo retiring from this race didn't really help us in terms of the Constructors' Championship. But it does help us overall in terms of just the Drivers' Championship, because we've won it now. So now for the final 2 races, we're going to have a little bit of fun. So as you can see then, Christian Horner is celebrating on the wall down below. And as you can see, Hamilton looks very, very happy. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be in real life. But there is the full race standings then. You can see that we finished 2/10 clear of Hamilton, half a second clear of Bottas, and second clear of Vettel, I believe that was. Raikkonen, unfortunately, had a problem. Grosjean and Ricciardo with the 2 to DNF. Ericsson 2 laps down, which is awkward. I think he may have had a puncture. Not sure. It's actually Vettel that had an issue in the race, which caused him to DNF. In the Drivers' Championship, now the gap is 60 points, which is now enough to confirm us as World Drivers' Champion with only 50 points left on offer. Lewis Hamilton is now mathematically out of the title race, and it is job done in that sense. In the Constructors' Championship, though, it is not done yet. Mercedes can still beat Red Bull, but we need to beat them quite well. Basically, I think Mercedes have to outscore us by 21 points in Brazil in order to claim the Constructors or to take it over to Abu Dhabi. But as you can see, I've never had that before, but it congratulated me for winning the championship. But guys, that is it for today's F1 2017 career mode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, feel free to drop it a like. And if you're new around here as well, you enjoy the content you do see, feel free to click that subscribe button as well. And we're going to make an upgrade to the aero department because we finally have enough points and because I felt like it. But guys, I'll see you for the next race in Brazil. Take care all. Thanks for watching. Peace.